Hi, guys. Welcome back to Iggy's Toy Parade and Soldier Review. This is your host, Iggy, and today I'm going to be talking about two different kinds of G.I. Joes. At first glance, these look like vintage Joes, but they're actually classic collection and 40th anniversary. Two are classic collection, and two are 40th anniversary G.I. Joes. So let's begin. We start off with the Action Soldier, and he is outfitted here in a field jacket, a field telephone, and a field radio, which is on his back. He has the M1. He has a belt with canteen and 45. I don't know if you can see that. It's over there on the side. And the reason why his helmet is tilted like that is the collar on his field jacket is pushing it up, but also the elastic straps are very loose. These have been in storage, 16, 17, about 17 years, maybe 18. Well, not the, well, yeah, it's been 17, 18, 19, 20 years. Oh my God. That's a long time. Anyway, the elastic is stretched out. Also, the straps of his radio pack is stretched out, and the elastic on the rifle and the carbine is no longer taut. So that's an unfortunate side effect of having it in storage for so long. But all the helmets are loose like that, with the exception of the Scramble Pilot helmet. But on him, I can't seem to get the visor to go down. There's styrofoam cushioning within the helmet, and it keeps sliding the helmet up on his head, so the visor no longer covers his eyes. I don't know if you can see that. See how it does that? At any rate, that's the Action Soldier. Next up is the Action Marine, and he's wearing the parachute, which came with the M1 carbine, of course. You see the front of the parachute straps there. I have an original, but sometime in the past, the buckle on the front came off and was lost. It's not the bronze plastic one, but there was a brass buckle on the waist belt that disappeared. But I was able to fix it. I got from Cotswold Collectibles a buckle that fit it just right, and so I was able to repair it. After that, I'm featuring the Shore Patrol, and I also had this one as a boy. Incidentally, the Marine parachute set, my dad bought me that, and the M1 turned out to be the only weapon that I got when I had GI Joe years ago. That's why I was so excited to see the 40th anniversary, because I was able to fill gaps in my collection, and that was very exciting. I really regret that they didn't continue at least for another year. At any rate, I had the Shore Patrol, which you see here, and we've got the duffel bag. He's got a white cartridge belt. He's wearing a white M1, which I don't. Oh, there it is. You can just barely see it in the background there. And Shore Patrol helmet. Now, the helmets back in the day, as with the 40th anniversary, you had to get separately. And a lot of the sets, there's only two sets that came with helmets for the I can't think, the 40th anniversary Joe. You could get a Marine helmet with set number 21, I believe, And then you could get a helmet with the exclusive Foot Locker set from Target. And that was the only sets that offered helmets. So what you can do is go to Cotswold Collectibles, and they feature reproductions or copies of GI Joe helmets. They're not precisely like this, but they're so close you and your friends wouldn't notice the difference. So you can make up for the lack of numbers on the helmets. Shore Patrol came in a set with I believe, sandbags and was it sandbags and a machine gun? I don't remember now. It's been how long now since these came out? 18 years, 17 years, something like that. It came out in 2004, this uh, set. And then we have the Scramble Pilot, and you had to buy the crash helmet separately. Now there has been some Hasbro has been. There has been some helmets made in the past, but it didn't have that distinctive orange stripe going across the helmet, and it didn't say GI Joe. It just had that Air Force emblem on the helmet. But of course, the 40th anniversary Joes had that, so that was no problem. Has an air vest, has a pack. Now I filled this parachute pack out with cardboard, pieces of cardboard, so that it would look fuller. And he's got a clipboard on the side. He's got a flare gun in his gosh, I hope that's a flare gun in his pocket. Otherwise, I'll have to change the rating. And it looks like he's got a knife, which is similar to this one here. The Navy Frogman also had that knife. So it's got the air hose and mask. So it's a pretty cool figure. Now, 2 of these are 40th anniversary, and 2 are classic collection released. I do it one more time just to irritate you. 2 are classic collection, I believe, released in 2000. I know the Shore Patrol was, but I think the Scramble Pilot was either 1999 or 2000. I failed to look it up before I started filming. These 2 are 40th anniversary, and this is similar to what you would have gotten in the communication set or the forward observer set. And so you have the field jacket, the belt with a 45 and canteen, an M1, and a field telephone, and a radio on his back there. This is the parachutes. That the first equipment set I ever got, my dad bought me, and he bought me a GI Joe Sailor, which had the chambray shirt. Is that what those light blue shirts were called? And the dungarees. But he, for equipment, he bought me this M1 and parachute set from the Marines. And by the way, that was the only like combat weapon that I got as a kid. I also had a white M1 for my dress Marine, and also for my Shore Patrol guy, which was gotten later. It came with a cartridge belt and the rifle. So there you have it. There's his parachute on the back. I also put cardboard in the back of that to fill it out. So those are the 2 40th anniversaries, and these are the 2 classic collection. A way to easily determine if this is 40th anniversary or vintage is the shade of the jumpsuit. It's a lighter green than the sort of olive drab of the 40th anniversary set, and also the parachute is the same color as the flight suit, and it's also in a lighter color. Okay, guys, that's all I've got for you. By the way, you're wondering who these guys are peeking over the top. That's from a G.I. Joe book by Daryl DePriest, I think his name was. But I got that bazooka set for Christmas one year. Did I tell you guys the story of when my mom went on strike and my dad had to go out on Christmas Eve with like an hour left and get all the stuff? And dad scooped up a bunch of G.I. Joe stuff for me. And we got our presents in those days, Sears had paper bags. And my dad handed me a couple paper bags and said, "Merry Christmas." I thought that was funny. But it was a memorable Christmas. The next year, mom took over because uh, they got into a fight and mom went on strike. And so, because dad said, "Well, you spend too much money." And when dad was finished, he spent twice what mom spent. So after that, mom was back in charge again. But I gotta say, I liked what Dad got the best because it was all GI Joe stuff. Now I know a lot of you are not really into GI Joe. You may not dislike it, but you're just not really interested that much. I get the fewest amount of views for GI Joe and the most amount of views for like Airfix figures, which I also enjoy. The thing with Airfix is that here in America, you could only get them at hobby stores. And I don't know how it is in Europe, but it might be the same. I don't know. I went to a toy store in England once and asked for Action Man. And he said, "Oh, mate, we got rid of those years ago." And I was really disappointed because someone told me, "Oh, yeah, they got tons of Action Man on clearance." But I was too late. That was in 1989 that I went there. Okay, guys, thank you for getting Iggy with it. I appreciate your patience if you watch the whole video. And take out your old Joes if you have them and set them up. They need to see the sunshine of a great day. If you haven't subscribed, give me a chance. I realize that it's not very professional. I understand that. It's unscripted. I speak from the off the cuff, so to speak. So sometimes I make little mistakes that I have to fix later in a comment or something. Um, but it'd be great if you subscribe so that we can get more people interested in toy soldiers and GI Joe. That would be fantastic. Okay, guys. Uh, don't forget to enlist in the Iggy Army. This is Iggy saying, "Guten Abend, alles mein Kameraden, and adios, amigos." All right, you guys, take care, be good, and I'll see you in the next video.